Below the feet of guests at the Moxy DC Hotel, there are stories being told. Fragments of kitchen ceramics, clay tobacco pipes, a woman's folding fan, toy marbles, and a political campaign pin. All items found during archaeological investigations during the site redevelopment. It is a look into everyday life in residential Washington during the mid-19th century.
Archaeology contributes to an understanding of that evolution of the city, but also an understanding of the people who lived and worked in this city and made the city the great city it is today.
In 2015, as part of final approvals for the 200-room hotel, the DC Preservation League, in cooperation with the Historic Preservation Office's archaeologists, requested further historical study of the site.
The idea was suggested that we do an archaeological dig. It's been done in the past, but never by a developer. And we always like to be a first in everything, and so we were the first to do something like that.
Preliminary historical research of the site revealed that buildings were in the area as early as the 1850s. 2 row houses and a stable once stood on the site of the Moxy DC Hotel. Andrew Rothwell, who owned an auction house, first constructed a wood-framed home on Lot 5 in 1853. The second row house was constructed in 1874 by George H. Turton, a local builder.
Several years later, Turton was able to acquire the adjacent row house that had been constructed earlier by Rothwell, and in 1885 he replaced it with a 3-story brick Queen Anne-style row house that featured elaborate brickwork, which was in keeping with architectural tastes of the time.
The first round of excavations revealed the partial foundations of buildings in the front and back of the lots. The archaeology team then turned its attention to what was behind the main structures.
We found the most interesting thing was in the backyard of the structures. The house itself, yes, they would live in there, but they would dispose of their trash in the backyard. So they would just throw it along the fence line, alongside the building, throw it in their privies.
In all, nearly 3,000 artifacts were recovered from the site. Most common of the artifacts were kitchen remains and building materials. But there were also artifacts related to activities as well as personal items. In a rare find, archaeologists uncovered a campaign pin from the 1860 presidential race supporting the Constitutional Union Party. The pin featured candidates John Bell, a senator from Tennessee, and Edward Everett, a senator from Massachusetts, in some of the first campaign materials to include photographs.
The interesting thing is, finding a campaign-related thing in DC was unexpected. DC could not vote in a presidential election until the 23rd Amendment in 1961.
Douglas Development plans on displaying items from the collection of the artifacts at the Moxy DC Hotel to help educate guests about the site's history. The remaining items will be donated to DC's archaeological collection.
In the development process, it is one of the few ways that we can link the history of the city back to the people living here today.
You only have one opportunity to unearth such rare artifacts. It took a little bit more time, it cost a little bit more money, but we were very happy at the end and pleased to have done it.